Hey guys, it's your best boxing friend. I'm Kelsey. This is Rachel. Rachel, I thought I would class this joint up a little bit today, as you can tell, because I'm not just a writer. I'm an award-winning writer. Rachel, this is going to be my suit that I wear Friday at the award center. How do I look?
You look very nice.
I think I've been working on like my poses, like standing, just various places, like, and then walks. Hi, howdy, because I'm from Texas, howdy, but like a gentleman's howdy, howdy. It'll be like this, and then I'm gonna shake hands like this, like I just like like you see in pictures when you meet the president.
Right.
But they'll be the president. I don't know. I haven't really got that far yet. I'm pretty excited because I fit into my little top here.
Yeah.
Not so much the bottoms, but that's another story.
Sometimes we don't fit into our pants.
Sometimes our bottoms don't fit, but I've made quite the concentrated effort to fit into this jacket.
Yeah.
Over the past 30 days or so. Really longer, but when we had about 30 days before the trip, before we could leave, so I really honed in on like doing stuff every single day, and I'm pretty proud. So next stop, probably international male model,
Yeah. Kelsey made use of a helpful, I don't know what to call it, for building a habit.
Yeah.
Habit
We read it in that book by James Clear.
Atomic Habits.
Atomic Habits.
So if you keep track of something, say you want to do something, if you have some way to track it, that will naturally produce a reward, which will help you build the habit.
Right.
So I've done it in the past by moving a penny from a solid jar to a clear jar every day. And I found that the clink of the penny was something that I looked forward to every day. So it was a reward, and that's what helped me continue with the habit. You put dots on our mirror using a dry erase marker, and just seeing that progress and seeing the dots build up is what helps to build the habit.
Yeah, because it's easy to say like I'm gonna do this and this every day, but when you don't see it, like now that I see it every day and I want to put that dot there, it keeps me accountable to do it.
And it doesn't sound like a lot.
It doesn't.
But like just the tracking alone will lots of people have studied habits. There's a book, The Power of Habits. There's like all this kind of stuff that goes into what makes up a habit. And one of the things that makes up a habit is a payoff. There has to be a reward for it. And this small thing manages to do it.
Yeah, it's like a small thing to put energy into with big rewards. You know who else seems to be building up a habit? It seems like Keith Thurman has a habit of avoiding any kind of possibility of fighting Errol Spence. Saw a Boxing Scene article today that said, basically Thurman said, I don't want to fight Errol Spence until late 2020 because Errol Spence, according to Keith Thurman, needs to build up his fan base. And I was like, huh, Keith Thurman? Errol Spence is a bigger deal than you, man. Like, he just fought on pay-per-view. Like, first of all, he's sold way more pay-per-views than you by any objective measure. He's a bigger star now, and he's also like, Errol Spence has the highest number of views for national network television. His fight against, I forget the guy's name. It wasn't even that good of a fighter, but that shows his draw, his earning power. I wrote about it for an article in Sweet Science called basically something like about how Errol Spence has Terrence Crawford right where he wants him. I'll link it, right? Basically, it says that all the measurable success, all the things you can measure, Errol Spence has that over Terrence Crawford. The number of pay-per-view buys, and also just the viewerships and TV numbers are also his. Well, that's way true also him against Keith Thurman, who hasn't been in a boxing ring in a long time, and who, well, I guess he just fought Jose Lopez, but he's not been a relevant welterweight contender for a year at least. And so I find that a habit that he shouldn't want to build up. Do you think that he has he puts little dots, he's like, avoided him today, avoided fighting him, but also avoided talking about fighting him.
Well, yeah, I feel like Thurman, basically, so he's going to fight Pacquiao, right? And then he's like, I'm going to take the rest of the year off. And I'll fight Spence in late 2020. None of that means anything. That's too, far off in the future. So, basically, I feel like you've just successfully, avoided any talk of having to fight Errol Spence. But also, I don't know, just kind of taking yourself out of the conversation for the next, year or two.
Have you ever heard the tragedy of Darth Plagueis the Wise? Okay, I don't want to say the whole thing to you. It's on Star Wars Episode 2. But essentially what he tells Anakin is those with power are afraid to lose it. That's what Palpatine says when he's trying to turn Anakin into Darth Vader. Stay with me. Keith Thurman got to where he had power in the sport. He was the number one welterweight, and he seems afraid to lose it. Even in the way he fights, like when he fought Danny Garcia, I was really excited about that fight, you know? But what I saw in that fight from both of those fighters is they were afraid to lose. They didn't go out to win the fight. They were more afraid to lose what they had. And I think that that is true about Keith Thurman, especially in that this isn't the kind of guy who's going out there trying to make history. He's not trying to build a legacy the way Manny Pacquiao did. Manny Pacquiao was like, I don't care how much they weigh, I'll fight them. And he went up and fought him. And I just, it's Keith Thurman's life. He has every right to live the life that he wants to live.
Yeah, absolutely.
But we have as boxing fans, we have every right to admire certain traits in some fighters. And in other fighters, like, you can admire Keith Thurman for a lot. Like, he's a hard worker, and he's done a great job. You ever seen this kid on a jump rope? He's outstanding. Like, he's a really good fighter as well. But I tend to try to admire and do naturally admire people that push themselves, right? When we watch Rocky movies, we love Rocky because Rocky pushed himself way beyond what normal humans do. And I like to see that in actual boxing as well. I want to see guys try to be great, to go after legacy-defining fights, and not just try to milk their career for every nickel and dime they can squeeze out of it.
Well, I feel like there's things you can do at the same time. So Keith Thurman can live his life of peace and rest and have that while also trying to be like the best, like in boxing that he can be. Yeah. And so what I'm not seeing is both of those. I'm seeing somebody that wants peace and rest, but then I'm seeing somebody that's not giving it all in the ring. And I want both those things, because I don't think anybody has to like work themselves to the bone just to like for my entertainment. Like, you need time with your family, and I totally get it. You can also come out and say like, hey, I'm at a place in my career where I don't need to fight like every other month. That's gone. I only need to fight a couple times a year. Like, I love Manny Pacquiao. Often does he fight? You know what I mean? Like, I mean, that's not a great example, but there's other people too that are still considered, not that Pacquiao's irrelevant, but like, I don't know, he's just in like this own little bubble all by himself now, right? Like, hasn't retired, but is still like around. I'm just saying Thurman could do, like, I'm just not getting enough on the other side.
The thing I don't like about Thurman is that he's got a little too much Floyd Mayweather Jr. in him, but he's not Floyd Mayweather Jr. So Floyd Mayweather could pick and choose who he fought when he fought him, but Floyd didn't do that for a long time. Like, he fought like, like then he started having like long breaks. He would retire. Remember, he retired after beating Ricky Attenborough. Mayweather had beaten a lot of really great fighters and established himself as the #1 pound-for-pound fighter in the sport. So he was also the sport's biggest star when he started acting like that, and he had the right to do that, and he still fought a who's who of future Hall of Famers in his career. Keith Thurman has not done that. Keith Thurman hasn't even fought all the relevant PBC welterweights. And so that is what I want, because, and I get to that because I know you guys think we're dogging Keith Thurman. I like Keith Thurman. I like him in boxing. He makes boxing better, Keith Thurman. When he's fighting and active and when he's doing what he does, even like he's great at stirring up like talk. Like just that we're talking about what he said. That's the one about. Like, that's great. That's awesome. I want more of that in the sport I love, because Keith Thurman, active and engaged in the sport, makes boxing a whole lot better.
Right. I agree. What also makes boxing a whole lot better is when people like, comment, and subscribe to Real Talk with Kelsey and Rachel.
I'm going to give you a Real Talk with Kelsey and Rachel challenge now. I want you to think about, we talked about habits earlier. How can you build a habit of watching our show every day? Well, we don't do a show every day, but watch it whenever we do a show. And be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. You got brothers and sisters? Make them like, comment, and subscribe. I don't know. Whoever you can, like, you have authority over, you want, like, basically, we want you to be little generals where you make your little minions like, comment, and subscribe so that our channel can grow. We appreciate you, and we love talking about boxing with you, and we're your best boxing friends. Why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you do that? We'll do it for you.